The 9-to-5 grind only gives us the weekend to really live.
But how much can you do in just 64 hours?
I'm Mike.
And I'm Jason.
During the week, I work as a CEO of a tech startup, and Jason works as a mountain guide and performance coach.
With full-time jobs and families, our weekdays are slammed, but our weekends are for crushing adventure.
The concept is simple. We have just 64 hours from 5 p.m. on Friday to 9 a.m. on Monday to go as far, as fast, and as hard as we can, with one goal.
To beat Monday.
On this episode of Beat Monday, Mike and Jason take on the infamous Whitney Low to High adventure. Starting in Badwater Basin, Death Valley, the lowest point of the lower 48 states, the guys will bike 142 miles across wild desert terrain, finishing their ride at Whitney Portal, the gateway to Mount Whitney.
Holy shit, we are in the desert. Riding in Death Valley.
To complete the adventure, the guys will then get off their bikes and climb to the summit of Mount Whitney, the highest point in the continental United States, standing at over 14,500 feet high.
Whoa, rock, yeah, rock!
Mike and Jason will have to battle vastly different climates, from desert heat to winter conditions, not to mention the most distance either of them have covered on a bike. The adventure starts now.
The last couple missions have been very cold and very wet. This one will be the opposite of that. Life has been crazy lately with work and just everything, and just riding a bike long distances hasn't been the top priority, which is exactly why we chose to do the low to high. We call this blitzkrieg training. Yep. So you just kind of shock the box,
cram it all in.
shock months of training into a weekend.
This weekend is gonna be a tough one. So the goal is to do this all and stay in one piece throughout, but it involves a 135 mile bike ride with somewhere between 16 and 17,000 feet of gain. And then we finally get to put our feet on the ground and march up Mount Whitney, which is another 6,000 or 7,000 feet. We got a little bit of a party ahead of us. This will be the longest bike ride I've ever done.
Okay.
The guys have arrived at the campsite in Death Valley. Before they can get any rest, they first need to build their bikes for tomorrow's portion of the mission. Since this is a large undertaking, the guys will be doing this adventure supported, meaning they will rely on the production crew to carry food, additional water, and the gear they'll need to climb Mount Whitney. This will allow Mike and Jason to focus on the experience and less on logistics during their limited time window.
We're kind of fully expecting full-on winter conditions on Mount Whitney, which means we would have to bring all that gear with us on the bike, which would make the bike ride, it's already really hard, infinitely harder. So we're only gonna just have water on the bike with us and the stuff we need, and then we'll kind of piggyback off the crew for food and water, and which for something like this I think is going to be much needed. Successfully done all of the annoying chores that are associated with traveling with a bicycle, and now it's time to get some sleep. It's 10:15 right now, so wake up at 1, just roll as soon as we're ready. Oh, okay, all right, I'm game for that. Good night, buddy. Enjoy these stars. Oh yeah. Oh. All right, let's do it, dude. So the plan this morning is to try and get our stuff packed as quickly as possible, get some food in us, and start the journey to Mount Whitney.
It's early on Saturday. We're at negative 280 feet below sea level in Badwater Basin, which is the official starting point of this Suffer Festival bike ride we're about to embark on.
We'll start the watches. All right, let's go. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Ready as I'll ever be.
Boop. Let's do it. Cue the music.
Back at zero. Woo! Only 14,500 feet to go.
It's like flying under the stars. It's a beautiful night out here.
Within Death Valley, California, lies Badwater Basin, the lowest point in North America, at 282 feet below sea level. This region is arid, hot, and desolate, but offers up striking views of its vast landscape. Today, the guys will bike 142 miles with roughly 17,000 feet of elevation gain until they reach Whitney Portal, Both Mike and Jason have climbed Mount Whitney in the past, but neither have done the low to high approach. This is a bucket list mission that they are excited to take on.
Yeah, things are going good. 48 miles in, sun's coming out. It's really beautiful out here. My first time in Death Valley. And yeah, we're just keeping it steady.
So this is 3%, okay? And we're at 5.5 miles an hour. So my guess is 3 to 4 miles an hour for the steeps.
Town Pass is the first of 3 big climbs today, gaining roughly 5,000 feet in elevation across 17 miles.
Remind me of this moment in 4 hours when I'm suffering. I think we're doing really well right now. Jason's moving well. We've covered a lot of distance. I know we still have a ton of vert, but 1 big climb out of 3. I'm pretty impressed with the progress we've made so far. That was a long climb.
I'm digging the sign I just saw. That usually implies downhill, so let's go down for a few minutes.
% descent.
Really?
6 miles of it. That's great.
Going in!
All right, faster. Holy shit, we are in the desert. This is like cartoon desert.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's warm.
Yeah, it is. Woo! Riding in Death Valley.
We've been on the bike for 9 hours and 46 minutes. We've climbed 11,263 feet. We've got 45 miles left on the bike and another 6,000 feet more of climbing. All right, we'll see you up there.
Mike and Jason now face the final and toughest climb of the day to Whitney Portal. 4,500 feet and 12 miles up steep switchbacks will make for a challenging end to the day.
She's looking mighty fierce. 2 big switchbacks, 2,000 feet straight up, followed by a little kicker at the end, all the way into Whitney Portal.
This is a steep hill. They don't have this at spin class at the Earth Treks.
This last climb is like definitely the hardest of the day.
Cutting the switchback is definitely giving my legs a break. Going straight up is like smoking them. So this is like pretty sustainable.
Dude, great fucking work.
Oh yeah.
Seriously, man, that was awesome.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit surprised.
Yeah. All right, arrived. Sick. Dude, that was amazing.
I wasn't expecting the last climb. That was the crux, like far and away. We finished the bike portion. The mountain portion lies ahead of us. We need to get our gear together to be up on the mountain and get some sleep.
I think it's pretty great that we're gonna get a couple hours of sleep here before we blast off in the morning, and I'm excited to break tree line tomorrow and just kind of finish this thing off.
All right, race fans, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Mike and I are at the Whitney Portal trailhead, and we're about to go climb a mountain. I'm feeling pretty good. Legs and butt feel okay, but I think let's give it 10 minutes, see how the body really feels after yesterday's endeavor.
The summit of Mount Whitney lies in the eastern portion of the Sierra Nevada range and is the highest point in the lower 48 states, rising over 14,500 feet high. Today, Mike and Jason will attempt to climb Mount Whitney via Mountaineer's Gully. This route will cover roughly 7 miles and 6,000 feet of elevation gain, taking Mike and Jason well above tree line and into the cold and exposed alpine climate.
Mount Whitney is one of the most aesthetic mountains, I think, in the US. It's very jagged looking from afar. It's just really whitewashed. It's gorgeous.
Our packs are pretty heavy right now, but I think it's better that we're over prepared. I don't want to have to turn around because we don't have the gear we need. Sun's coming up. We're just heading up to the ledges right now. Making good time.
Stoked. Haha, snow.
This is a little sketchy.
Well, we have all this gear, let's use it.
Yeah. Just put on some spikes here. Just getting up here in the Whitney Amphitheater area. We're moving about as fast as could be expected given the circumstances. I mean, we're both really tired and incredibly hungry. But I think we're gonna be okay. We're about 3,300 feet down, so another 3,300 feet of climbing before we're up on the summit. About 45 minutes ago, we stopped. Jason wanted to switch into his mountaineering boots and started walking slowly uphill just to stay warm. And I've been waiting now for quite a long time at this lake for him to come up, and he hasn't come up.
Somewhere between Lower and Upper Boy Scout Lakes, Mike and Jason get separated, and Mike ends up a few hundred feet below Jason, having taken a slightly different route. Luckily, they are prepared and use their radios to locate each other on the mountain.
Mike, it's Jay. Mike, it's Jay. You got me?
Gotcha, Jay. I guess you must have snuck past me, but on my way up.
Cool. Did you find the trail and everything? You all good?
Yeah, I was just hanging with that party down there. I didn't notice you. All good. I'll be right up there.
Cool. We're at 11-7. We'll wait here.
I had no idea. I was running through the whole list of things.
The good news is you're only a quarter mile away or something.
All right.
Reunited.
Crisis
Back
averted.
on the trail. Crisis averted. Let's keep rolling.
Let's go get this done.
And right behind me, you've got the east buttress, the east face, and Mountaineers Gully, which is our objective. That's our path to the summit. Hopefully the conditions are favorable. Up to this point, we've traveled the distance of about 4 miles. Elevation gain is about 4,500 feet, and we're at 12,621 feet right now.
We were thinking we were gonna have serious wind up here, and while we're not on the summit, right down here, it's not too bad. So we're hopeful that we're gonna have a beautiful day up there. Right.
Yeah, bud.
There she is.
Yeah, dude. Oh!
Lowest, highest.
Nice, man. Woo, woo. Beautiful day to be up on old Whitney here.
Look, that's where we came from yesterday.
We still have to get down to the summit, only halfway of this part of the mission. But honestly, I'm like blown away by how seamless this journey's been.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So far this weekend's gone incredibly well. Our bodies feel relatively good. Now we just have one last step, and that's our descent. So let's keep it tight and get down to the bottom.
Yeah.
Whoa, 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 rock! Jay, rock!
Me, dude.
We just had a really good reminder that the day's not over until the day's over. I was trying to navigate this like one tricky section, and there's this massive block that I dislodged. And man, it was like, it started tumbling down towards Jason pretty quickly. Fortunately, he was in a good position to get out of the way, and there was no one below us, but that was, it was scary.
I think it's just in a bad spot, or it wasn't a bad spot. So you've saved somebody. Woo. So a little ways to go. Mike and I are down past the technical stuff, but yeah, I think we'll be back down at the trail in like about an hour. Oh boy, finished. I
I came into this a little nervous as to whether or not we were going to be able to pull it off. And right from the start of this mission, I had a good feeling that like things were going to click. We had, you know, beautiful stars in the sky and open roads and perfect temperatures. I think like the first 40 miles of that bike ride were maybe one of my favorite parts of this whole weekend.
For me, looking back on the weekend, most memorable times, certainly just finishing the ride. Coming up this last big hill into Whitney Portal was pretty memorable for me. It feels pretty good. You know, this was our version of the low to high, and it was a total blast. Definitely glad to check that one off the bucket list.
Ultimately, our hope with this series is to inspire folks to just get started and to make sure they're keeping their passions a part of their life. Well, that was a good one. That was one for the books.
Certainly one for the books.